Welcome back to Cottage Tranquility. Sorry, I've got a mad giant hairy cat here that is fidgeting about whilst I'm trying to film for you. So in this latest video, going to show you, warts and all, what is a good recipe but unfortunately didn't go to plan for mince pies. So hope you'll enjoy and not take me too seriously. I certainly don't take me seriously, which is why, although I sound quite serious, I think it's just concentration when I'm filming. You'll see me baking and yeah, making a bit of a tit of myself. So enjoy, and I will put the recipe in the details below, and if I ever do work it out, you know, I'll make sure I post the recipe that works for me here in France. Certainly the recipe that I've used here does work in England with the ingredients that I mentioned, so it's obviously just slightly different ingredients, and that's caused me a bit of havoc. So enjoy. Catch you later. Hiya. So today I'm going to be making some mince pies at the local cat charity, and they have a shop and cafe in Chasnois-Bonnier, and so these mince pies will be on sale, I think, tomorrow. This mixture apparently is supposed to make about 18 mince pies, so I'm going to take 8 ounces of flour. So I've got my scales here. Just shake that in. Hands are all washed. There we go, 8 ounces. Pop the flour into that. Sorry if you keep just seeing the top of my head. Now, originally from the UK, so used to using Stork margarine. Yesterday I went and bought Plantain margarine, which is without palm oil. I have a real thing against palm oil. Can't stand brands that use it, as it leads to the deforestation of areas with orangutans, and I love orangutans, and yeah, I just think that we create so much trouble in this planet. So yeah, one thing I take a stand against at the moment is palm oil, if I can help it. So there we go. Anyway, we're now on to the Stork marge. Get me off of my soapbox. 3 ounces, basically in France, finding what I would use if I was in the UK to make these. So you can mix your flour, your lard and your marge. So there's the marge, 3 ounces of marge into the flour. Here comes the lard, which is called Sandu. These are not vegan, these are not vegetarian. And 2 ounces. Okay, so I'll just pop that in. Next thing is a pinch of salt. Now in the UK I would usually use like a salted butter or something, so I'm going to just put quite a large pinch of salt in because I tend to like my pastry to be a bit more savoury, because I'm going to put a sprinkle of sugar across the top with a sugar and milk wash. So now I'm going to mix all that together and water. So we will need a little bit of water, not a huge amount. I'm just going to have that in the jug there to bind it. But first things first, I'm going to mix this all by hand. So much fun. I'm blending all of this to like a breadcrumb consistency, and then I'll use a bit of water for binding once I've mixed it all together. So it's a bit like crumble, a bit like shortbread, except for obviously we've used lard and margarine as opposed to butter. I do sometimes use butter in my pastry, but I'm going to just see how these go. So I'm going to make a first batch and just going to squidge it together now. As you can see, it's coming together. I'm going to do a test batch for home and for guests here. And then once I've made sure that I'm happy with the quality, then I will make the batch for the cat charity even. And it's the Alley Cat Cafe in Chesnoy. This is not, by the way, a paid advertisement. It's just a charity that I like to support. Sally, the lady that runs the place, rescues cats and rehomes them, and bless her, she seems to be doing it all year long. There we go. Doesn't look like we're actually going to need any water at all. That looks quite nice and moist as a doughy mixture. You see, that says 18 pies. I'm not sure it's going to make 18 pies, not with the deep dish Yorkshire pudding dishes that I seem to have. I couldn't seem to find any shallow ones. So we'll see how many it makes. Fantastic roll out, pastry roll. Some flour, that just stops it sticking to the silicone mat. My mum always had a silicone mat when she was doing pastry, and yeah, she's always been an inspiration for myself and my sister for our baking. But mum was a fantastic teacher, both a cook and a pastry chef. So there we go, let's just pop that on there, and just going to coat the rolling pin also in a bit of flour, because you really don't want, if you can help it, the pastry sticking to that as well, and it will. So here we go, just going to turn that as we go. And you're going to need cutters in 2 sizes, one for the base, one for the lids. So cutters here, I've got 3 sizes. I'm just going to sort of have a look at these. So I think that one's possibly too small. This one looks like it's sort of lid sized, which means that the next size up will probably be perfect for filling size. So I'm just going to try it out, see how we go. So let me move some of this out the way. So just press the cutter in, give it a bit of a twist to bring it out. That brings you out your nice flat. Now, it doesn't matter, having a bit of flour on it actually helps it to stop from sticking. And you place it into the thing. Perfect, quite happy with that size wise. Just squidge it in. Make sure there are no perforations in it. These will come out looking nice and homemade, i.e. rustic. Now, these are for the taste test, so there are various mince meats here. I've got some Tesco's ones with ruby port. I've got Waitrose, which is one that the cat cafe have given me, and then just some basic Tesco's mince meat. So I'm just going to use this one because this one's still open, so just give it a bit of a mix up. Pop maybe 2 teaspoons, maybe I'm being a bit generous, followed by a lid. Again, flour, pop that over the top. Don't need to really seal it, just press it down lightly at the edges. Go, and move on to the next. These are quite quick and easy. See that this
It's a little bit of a drier mix now. So what I need to do is just roll this out, and as you see, it's just falling apart on me and stuck to everything. Oh, what a mess. So that's what not to do. So we scoop it off there. Just to show you, so as I'm placing it in here, just gently patting it into place. Taking a large teaspoonful of mincemeat, and we cut out a lid. There, and we just place that over the top gently, patting it down. Pop that in. Pretty much finished this jar. So we'll open the next one. She says. Oh, there we go. For a minute there I thought we were in trouble. Don't have the strongest of hands. Then you're probably going to be making out of this recipe 10 mince pies. So what I'm going to do is we're going to take the milk. I'm just going to brush it gently over the tops here. I'm going to just take a little bit of the sugar into my hand, sprinkle it, little dusting across the top, just to add that little piquance of sweetness, a little bit of umami. Mince pies. So oven is now ready at 180, and they go in for 15 minutes. It smells promising. Let's have a look. Oh, they're beginning to get a bit colour on there. I think I might leave them in for a minute or so longer. I had to turn the temperature up to 200. I'm used to working with a fan oven, and this is not. This is just a standard electric oven, so I'm just gonna put that on for 2 minutes more. Let's say, I think probably 200 for 15 minutes would probably do. Maybe 15 to 18 minutes. But yeah, just until they're nice and golden brown, and you can start to smell, really smell the fragrance of the mincemeat coming through, and you know they're done. I'm just going to shut that and take these out. There, hopefully nice and golden brown now. I've got my cooling tray out. I'm just going to pop those on there. The sugar's browned a little, bubbling away. And then I've got this cloche just to put over the top to discourage any flies or anything like that from landing on them whilst they cool down. And they should be easy enough to pop out once they've cooled. Amazingly, and I don't know if you can see, what looks like probably the last flock of geese heading south for the winter, just above the tree line there. Couldn't believe it when I came out here hearing them. It is the end of November, and you would think that they had already flown south. Certainly we've had over the past few weeks lots and lots of geese and any other birds that fly south for the winter leaving the area. And look at that glorious sunset. Isn't that just beautiful, the way it ribbons across the horizon there? So beautiful. Right, so it's the evening. I'm back. I'm making my second batch. The first batch did not want to come out. Said I'd be warts and all. They have been absolutely atrocious at coming out. They are still, in fact, I believe, welded in there. So we'll worry about that later. Seemingly they will be consumed by myself and the cats. And any friends that are more than welcome over should they want to. So we're going belt and braces this time. I have cut out little discs to go in the base, and I'm going to use a little bit of butter just to grease the tin here. Make sure that absolutely there's no chances, she says, fingers crossed, of the darn things sticking. And then all the way around. So I'm going to do that around all of them. I would now say, belt and braces people, if you don't have silicone moulds, do not fall for the pastry sticking, welding itself apparently with French margarine and lard. Very, very good bonding agents. Having tasted one, I also found that they were very nice, but maybe even a little too much on the savoury side with the sprinkling of sugar across the top. So I have added in a little bit of sugar in there as well. So here we go. Let's hope that that's enough. And I'm going to put these so they are a mixture. So I can never remember if it's shiny side up or off.
Needless to say, the mince pies were delicious, but none of them, not a single one, came out whole. So I ended up having mince pie crumble for practically the whole of December and paying the cat charity for the mincemeat, for the mince pies. So yeah, they got their money back. I got lots of mince pies, but no, none of them made it on sale. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed. I will put the recipe, as I mentioned before, in the details, along with any of the tools that I used. And yeah, I would recommend Stork margarine if you're in the UK. And if you're in France, if you do have any tips on how to get them out other than silicone moulds, which I will now be investing in, do let me know. Thank you once again for joining me here at Cottage Tranquillity. I will get my next episode out to you as soon as possible, and I believe it was the Christmas markets was next, so catching up slowly but surely, and I will get that out as soon as possible for you. Oh, whoops, mustn't forget, please like, comment and subscribe, and feel free to have a good old laugh along with me. Thank you so much for joining.